Welcome to the G.L.O.E podcast, where we talk all things God, life, the ups and downs, organization, because chaos is not cute, and entrepreneurship, aka chasing those dreams. Here, we glow boldly and live purposefully. I'm your host, Angel, and around here, we keep it real, mixing faith, strategy, and a few laughs along the way. Whether you're trying to get your business together, organize your life, or just need a little motivation, you're in the right place. If you've been hanging around for a while, welcome back, and I hope you bought a friend. If you're new here, welcome. Get comfy and stay a while. Today, we are talking about something that really grinds my gears: calling everyone friend. These days, the word gets tossed around like germs on a kid's toy, and everyone is not your friend. Everyone does not deserve that title. My annoyance for this word starts back several years ago when my son was in preschool, and they taught the kids to refer to each other as friend and that everyone was your friend. One day we get a note in the app that says, "A friend bit your son today. He is okay, and we took the necessary precautions. We explained that we don't bite friends." Wait, I'm sorry. What? First of all, we don't bite anyone, friend or no friend, because that's how we get diseases. Second of all, friends don't bite each other. Another time in preschool, my son was like, "Oh, a friend hit me in the eye today." Again, I'm sorry, what? What is wrong with these kids? What happened to learning your ABCs, eating snacks, taking your naps, and playing with blocks? I honestly didn't understand if this was friendship or fight club because I was confused. And I told my son, "Stop calling everyone your friend." He said, "But that's what they told us at school." And I'm like, "Well, son, I'm telling you different." So I figured once he got out of preschool that the word wouldn't be tossed around as much and it would be good. I was wrong about that. So I want to rewind a little bit to 30 years ago when I was this age, and my parents told me everyone is not your friend. I cannot count the amount of times that I heard my mama say this, and putting best in front of a friend, that was not taken lightly. If you were calling someone your best friend, you needed to have receipts, references, everything to back up putting the word best in front of them. One time I was saying something about one of my friends, and my mom was like, "All those people are not your friends." I remember telling her, I was like, "Well, you have a lot of friends." And I proceeded to name all of the people I had ever heard her talk to, visit, write a letter to, go out to eat with, work with, like you name it. If she had ever had any interaction with these people and I had ever heard their name, I'm sitting there naming them off as a friend. And that's when she explained the difference to me between an associate, an acquaintance, a friend, and a best friend. She asked me, "How many of these people do you hear me say is my friend?" She said, "You will hear me say that's an associate or an acquaintance, but not friend." And in that moment, I realized she was right, although I probably did not admit it to her at that time. But I did realize that she doesn't just go around saying that this person is my friend. Just because you see someone every week at church or in the car pickup line, you had coffee with them once, you sit right beside them every day at work, that does not make you a friend. There are levels to this friendship thing, and we are going to talk about them. We're going to start with the acquaintance level. An acquaintance is someone that you know, but not really that well. Think of someone that you met at one of the many birthday parties that you attend for your child, or one of the many events that you have attended for your kid or your spouse. Maybe someone that you follow on social media or that you met through a mutual friend. They would be someone that you would see out and you'd be like, "Man, I know them from someplace, but I'm not quite sure where I know them from." You would not introduce them as a friend because 9 times out of 10, you probably can't even remember the name. An associate is someone you know and you interact with frequently because of similar activities. So think of someone that you see at your child's extracurricular activities, like their soccer games or their baseball games, piano lessons, whatever it is. Someone that you attend a monthly meeting with. You carry on a casual surface level conversation with each other. You may exchange text messages every now and then to find out if they saw the update about soccer practice or if they can help you understand the homework assignment. Your conversations are usually just, "Hey, how's it going? How are the kids? How's work?" Very, very surface level. You may even bump into each other at the coffee shop and be like, "Oh, hey, let's sit down and talk for a minute or two and just catch up on the mutual things that you all have going on." But you don't tell them all your business and they're still not your friend. A friend, an actual friend, is someone that you share a bond with. These are your people. You check on each other, you laugh with each other, you vent to each other, but still not about everything. You go out to eat with each other. You may even go over to each other's houses from time to time. And this was another lesson that I learned as a kid too. Everyone does not get invited to your house. Associates, acquaintances, all those people, they don't get invited to your house. They You meet them out in public, they stay out in public. That's where they go. A best friend, putting that best in front of friend is sacred. You do not toss that around like rice at a wedding. Your best friend knows where the bodies are buried at. Your best friend and you can get into a disagreement or a debate, and y'all be like, okay, cool, whatever, get over it. I'll talk to you later. That's the best friend. You know that if your best friend calls you instead of texts you, you know the tea is extra hot, or they are extremely pissed off about something, and you either got to call them down or hype them up. So, real talk, right now, my bestie is a little mad at me. And guess what? That's fine, because after I finish this episode, I'm going to text her back again, anyways, and I'm going to continue to annoy her until she gets over it or until we move on from this. And she would do the exact same thing to me. Also, a couple of weeks ago, she called me instead of texting me. And I was like, she is calling in the middle of the day. What has she done, or what has someone else done? So I answered the phone. I was literally, no hello, no nothing. Just, what did you do, or what did someone else do? And she proceeds to tell me the story. And I'm like, just go home. And she's like, no, I'm not going to go home. I'm like, just go home. And so she's like, okay, I'm going to finish up what I have to do, and then I'm going to leave. And so I can track her location. And I was tracking her like an hour later. I'm like, you're still at work. That's a best friend. Nowadays, people are giving best friend perks to acquaintances. And that is just one of the many problems of what is going on in the world today. Stop giving best friend energy to people who could not pick you out of a lineup. A best friend should be able to tell that your day is off by the tone of your text messages, which once again, I was able to do with my best friend. She sent a text message one day. I texted, I was like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, oh, nothing. I said, yeah, you don't talk like that. So tell me what's wrong with you. Real friends do not harm each other. Real friends joke with each other, they have fun, and they put you in your place when you're wrong. They correct you in private, and they back up your shenanigans in public. And not everyone can be that person for you, and that's fine, but they also don't deserve that title. A friend is not the person who disappears when you're struggling, or only comes around when they need something or can benefit from what you have. A friend is also not someone who is just never available when you need them, but expects you to always be there. And friends definitely don't bite each other or punch each other in the eye. Acquaintance, associate, friends, and best friends, they all play a different role in your life. And it's so important not to confuse those roles. I mean, come on, y'all. If Jesus got betrayed, what makes you think that you won't? You have to be so careful with the Judases, because they will trick you into thinking they are there for you when the whole time they're trying to get information so they can betray you. You have to have discernment to know when there's a Judas among you. And I have run into a few of them over the years. And when I finally realized it, I removed myself. Back to my son and his need to call everyone friend. One day we were coming back from someplace and we were talking, and he was saying something about recess or something. I can't remember what it was. And my husband asked him a question like, who was he hanging out with, or something. And he was like, oh, he's like, well, my best friends are. And he starts to list like all these people. And my husband's like, I've never heard of this kid a day in my life. And I asked him, I was like, well, when did this kid become your best friend? And what did he do to earn this title? And my son had no answer. And he's like, well, he's just my best friend. Okay, cool. So how did he become your best friend? When did he become your best friend? Because I've never heard you talk about him. You've never asked to like hang out with him or anything like that. So I'm confused right now. And I remember last year when he wanted a birthday party, I asked him who did he want to invite. He ended up not having a birthday party, but at the moment he wanted one. And so he named 5 people. Y'all, seriously, he named 5 people that he wanted to come to his birthday party. So how is it that you named 5 people you want to come to your birthday party, but now you got 10 best friends? Make it make sense. If I was having a party, I would want all of my best friends there, but you left off half of them. They are not your best friend. I'm really trying to get him to understand that. We are working so hard to debunk this thinking and letting him know that you should be kind and nice to everyone, that it's important to speak when you see people or when people speak to you, but that does not make them your friend. I don't want my son to be out here and be a full grown adult and thinking that just because he sat next to someone in class for 6 years and they never spoke a word to each other, that that's his friend, or that just because he sees the same person every week at an activity, that that's his friend. It's someone, you still be nice to them, but there are seriously full grown adults out here who think like that. They think that because they went to middle school with someone or high school with someone and or college and never spoke a word to this person, that they're friends. No, that's a classmate, an associate. So if your mama did not tell you and you grew up thinking that everyone who smiled in your face and knew your name was your friend, or even if you still think that, let me be the one to break it to you right here today. Everyone is not your friend. I would rather have one person who I know will be there with me through thick and thin than 10 people who I have to constantly wonder if I can trust them. So be kind, be nice, but be discerning and teach your kids that friends don't bite. That's it for today's episode of the G.L.O.E podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're walking away with something that fuels your journey. And remember, glow boldly, live purposefully, and I'll talk to you next time. Loving the G.L.O.E podcast? Let the world know. Head over to Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star rating and review. It helps more amazing listeners like you find the show and gets us featured in other shows' recommendations.